What is going on, guys? It's Panda back for a short episode. I just wanted to bring up a little controversial subject. Um, so, we'll play a little bit here, but I just wanted to go ahead and talk about a little something here today, a little bit of the coronavirus. Something for food for thought. Something to really think about. I'm not much of an anarchist. I'm not much of any sort of like I don't believe in anarchy or anything. I believe in it, but I'm not into that sort of thing. I think it's stupid. I think it's dumb. Sometimes it's necessary in certain positions, but we need to understand that there's a difference between like fighting back, defending yourself, and that kind of violence versus anarchy. Okay, so anarchy is just pure evil in my opinion. But let's go ahead and get into this a little bit. I just wanted to read this off to you. This isn't from me, this is something I read. It's just a little food for thought, something to really think about. It is kind of interesting to think about in the first place, but to begin, I was never a genius at math. I don't doubt that COVID-19 is real, that it can be deadly, but some interesting considerations to follow. Some stats not found in the media. Just sharing this information. Some of this has not happened. Before you review food for thought, as I said, I found these numbers interesting. As reported by the CDC, here are U.S. deaths by year and the change from previous year to the next year. Starting from 2017, 2,818,503 Americans died. In 2017, okay? Now 2018 we have 2,839,205. That's only a 20,702 death difference, okay? Now, if we move forward into the following year, which is kind of getting closer to our time now, 2019, you got 2,855,000 deaths, okay? That's 16,300 more deaths than the previous year. So that's not that much more, but it is more, okay, than back in 16 or 17. Quite a bit. 2020, what's scary is that this is during coronavirus. It's supposed to be a pandemic. Year 2020, 2,913,144 deaths. That is only 57,641 more than the previous year, 2019. This is just something that I'm reading. I found it. More of my buddy found it and sent it to me. He was just like, this is some really weird information. You might want to read into this, kind of look into it. So I might even research it some more for you guys. But I think I'm where I stand right now looking at this, like I've heard this stuff on the news and I've been watching and following, pretty well, but this is some small factual stuff I never even realized was out there, especially for the public. Like, you guys can go see this yourself. Like, you can go on the CDC website and see these numbers, which is kind of scary. Considering all the numbers that have been thrown around and misconceptions of how many people have died here or there or what's going on, it seems to me nobody knows what the hell's going on, really. That's why this is so interesting. But after all those deaths, let's just start here. But wait, there were 0 deaths from COVID-19 during 2018 and 2019, and the jump from 2019 was only 57,641. Like we just said, holy crap, how is that even possible? That doesn't make sense. If there was a pandemic, there would be way more deaths, especially if it's, so crazy or so, it's such a deadly disease or such a deadly virus. Then why isn't there in the hundreds of thousands? Okay, that would make more sense. Yes, we followed a lot of protocols to help prevent, but if you look at how fast we reacted, there should be way more deaths than there are. Just saying. But maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know. It's just very interesting stuff to kind of like think about. I've been told that COVID-19 is responsible for now 400,000 plus deaths. Shouldn't the 2020 number be a lot higher, considering the spread? So, question becomes, how many people have died of COVID-19, and how many others have died? Different causes, or like with COVID, like what? Um, how many people have like actually died? That's my personal question, but the way they worded this was a little weird at the bottom there. I can't. It's kind of blocked by some stuff, but anyways, it is actually very weird. Like, I would think there would be more deaths. I mean, I would assume all of you would think that too, but I guess not. I mean, the numbers seem kind of odd too. Like, reading them off and everything just sounds funny. Just seems weird. To continue forward though with this, it continues. I mean, quite a bit. We got a good amount of information. So now the question about why this is, why all this, why I'm talking about this is because the theory or the conspiracy is that there is some people in higher parts of our government that are sitting there with power that want our government to fail, or at least be tumbled. And this is how they do it. This makes perfect sense how to drop a government. I mean, shoot, if I could do it that way and I was a bad guy, I would. I play a lot of video games. Okay, I know what a bad guy looks like and what they do. So they scare people with a virus, force them to wear masks, place them in quarantine, count the number of dead every second of every day and every news headline. By the way, 99 and 8/10 of the people who got the virus recover. About only 2/10 of 1% who get the virus die. Most of them all excuse me. I need to clear my throat. So sorry. Most of all of them have other medical problems. Did you catch that? So they have other medical problems. It's not like it's actually like a deadly virus that's going to take you out, that's going to hurt you, that's like, oh, I'm healthy, I'm going to freaking die from this thing. No, it's people that already have, they're on their freaking deathbed most likely. Okay? So we got that going, which I understand, it's just crazy. I understand how this sounds, but it's just crazy. Okay, it's crazy for me. I just want to talk about it. I just want people to share their opinion on it. But see here, back where we were. So that's less than half of a 10% that die. Now the next step is to close businesses. 35 million plus businesses 35 million plus people instantly unemployed from all the businesses. Remove entertainment, prohibit recreation, close parks, gyms, bars, restaurants, sports, no dating, no touching, isolate people, dehumanize them, close temples, churches, prohibit worship, create a vacuum, and let depression, anxiety, hopelessness, and desperation set in. Then ignite hatred and civil unrest, creating civil war, empty the prisons because of the virus, and fill the streets. Touching, isolate, see, that's, okay, stops there. He had like multiple screenshots, so it's kind of like weirdly set up. I have to like refine every spot that I was reading from because the way it's screenshotted. Okay, there it is. Send in, send in Antifa to vandalize property. I'm just guessing it's basically people, like a group of people to vandalize some property, as if they are freedom fighters. Undermine the law, riot, loot, attack. All law enforcement, just go all out hatred on law enforcement, just tumble them down, beat them up, and basically crumble them, and then tell the government to order a stand down because it's the police's problem. Like, they're the ones causing the issue. And then defund the law enforcement because they're so crooked or whatever, like just defund them because they're not quote unquote doing their job, or they're not, settling the dispute, or they're just not make them look unworthy, as you will, okay? And then, the next step is basically completely crumble, like pull you lost all your order, you lost your your security, you lost everything. I mean, no one has any hope left. There's just despair. Everyone's rioting. And then, I mean, it's kind of sad. I mean, we're all being played by those who want to destroy America. This is how you want to destroy a nation, from within, and in a very short order too, and the question is, will it work, and is it really happening? Is this what is the actual wave? Is this what's going on, but who knows? I mean, it's just something, it makes you wonder, like these are things you question, like day to day. How would America, be attacked, or the next world war would happen? What would go on to cause the next world war? We don't see it, but this is it. You know what I mean? Like, being kind of basically dehumanized, being shoved in your home, not being able to go out and release and be yourself and stuff like it. That's hard. Okay, that's hard. And you looking at the way people have been affected already, and a lot of the way, the ways things have gone south with the whole coronavirus. I mean, business wise, schooling, everything. I mean, there's kids that are failing school now because, I mean, the online's just not good, dude. It sucks. Okay, I went to school and I had an iPad. Okay, and I went to Johnston High School or whatever. And when I went to Johnston, all I'm gonna say is we use these electronic pads, little iPads, and they sucked. Okay, because how hard it was to do the work, how hard it was to keep up, stuff like that. I don't know if any of you have, you use computers or iPads. I would rather have a computer over an iPad all day, right? But even with the computer, I mean, it is beyond difficult to do work from home. I mean, your teachers just kind of like throw stuff on you and say, here, take your stuff, do it, go learn on your own, basically. You know what I mean? You're teaching yourself. Like, half the time, you're in like this meeting, and, I watch my fiance's little sister do her homework and like sit in these meetings, and she's just like, I mean, obviously bored out of her mind, because the teachers don't even make it fun. I mean, they're just fucking boring, like all out boring, and it's sad. It's honestly sad. They don't have any enthusiasm or anything really, and they just kind of throw stuff on the kids. They don't even explain anything. They don't teach. There's no actual teaching going on, which sucks. And yeah, I just feel like everything's kind of going to crap due to this, corona thing, and in part by, maybe this whole list I read off, all these facts, all these, all these underlying things could be the answer. Like this whole idea that our government may be undermined. We might be getting pretty much wahooed. Someone pulling the quick slip on us or something, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, wow. It just makes you think how much like crap is really going on that we don't know about. I mean, it's like the simple concept of switching to hydrogen power or like electric power. Why don't we just do it? I mean, yeah, it's gonna hurt some companies and stuff, like oil, whatever, but let me tell you something, it's gonna help 99.99% of the rest of the population. You're not willing to sacrifice the 1% for your 99.9%. You are a sick person. That's what you are. That just says you're a immature, sick, disturbed person that does not care about anyone but yourself. And you don't deserve the position of power, money, any of that. You don't deserve that. That's just not. That's not acceptable in my eyes. And I think that maybe some people ought to start opening their eyes a little more, especially the majority. I mean, there's a huge minority with their eyes open, trying to get the majority to pay attention, and it's just them. You can't really force someone to pay attention to you, or to understand, or to try and research something. It's just they're so damn naive, or so caught up in what they're already thinking about, what they care about, and what's already on their mind, like what's going on in their lives. They don't care about anything else because they don't have time to. And that's what you do is if you want to take complete control of somebody, I mean, that's something you can do, is take away all their time, take away everything from them that they with low key do it. You take away all their time. You kind of give them a little bit of, here's a little chocolate sprinkles here, a little chocolate sprinkles there. Let me, get a little sugar, get you all happy. And the whole time you're blind because you're just getting what you want. You're happy, you're cozy, your belly's warm and full. You don't know what the hell, is the bigger picture. You're not taking the second to step back and go, damn, there's something bigger to this than just a little bit of that and a little bit of this. And there's something hiding, and I don't understand why people don't take a second to stop their day, genuinely stop what they're doing, genuinely stop running their mouth and just keep continuously talking, and just look on the internet, go research, do some thought processing, do some thinking, take some reflection time, go fucking take a vacation, breathe. And I run into people all the time where they seem so. I understand why a lot of people say don't neglect yourself, don't work too much and stuff. Go try to do a yoga class or something. Try something new, because it changes your mind. It changes your perception. It opens it. It takes you to another level. And for people to say, oh, that's stupid, I'll never do that, or for someone to say, oh, that's just that's for this kind of person or that kind of person, you are dumb and childish. I mean, I will go with my wife and get pedicures, okay? Everyone's like, oh, that's for women, that's not a man's thing. Dude, you should just shut up. You've never gotten one. That stuff feels good, dude. They give you a foot massage. They scrub your feet. That's that feels good. I got a cocktail. I got I was feeling good. They got my feet smelling good and looking fresh. What's wrong with that, I see a lot of people that have problems with that, or they think it's stupid, or oh my god, they just have this concept in their head that they're just so, I don't know what, let's say hard, or they're just so full of themselves that they don't see the bigger picture. I feel like people are just freaking full of themselves and need to chill. Take a step back, redefine themselves. Okay, I think people this modern day and age need to start redefining themselves and the way we live and what we do as a community and as a whole. I think it's very important that we start rechecking our education systems, rechecking everything, because I just feel like we're not helping ourselves. We're hurting ourselves, and that's all we've been doing forever now. And we're allowing our leaders and our people to do that. You know what I mean? Do that to us. We're allowing them to lead us into this path where we're just hurting ourselves. Why? Why are we not, all taking the chance to stand up and say, hey, we don't care what the cost is. We want electric power. We want to make sure that we're taking care of the place that we live in and we stay in and we sleep and we eat and we raise our children in. And I think we need to focus more on the betterment of our society and our whole, and not so much as, oh, we're beating damn China at a 4% increase on production and all that. Dude, get out of here. Drop that shit. Get out. Just leave it. It's done. It's done. We want to talk, we're America. We want to talk about equality and all this other crap, and you know, like having loved the planet and being like, you know, the best country on earth. If we're the best country on earth, why are we disrespecting our home so much? Why are we disrespecting the people around us? Why aren't we working together too? Like, why haven't we, I understand where, you know, it's hard to get along with people and stuff, but there's a point where you need to put the right people in there to get along with them. I hope you understand. You can't put someone in an office, like, and expect them to go to a place if somebody doesn't already predisposably like them, or even, not even just that, like, they have conceptions that are horrible. You know, like, you want to surprise somebody. You want to take someone in there that's not, you know, that's like not already viewed as a bad person, or even has, like, you don't want like a rich person in office. I'm gonna be honest with you. You want someone that's gonna be smart, like, and not just poor. Like, they could be middle class. You want someone that understands. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. You want someone that understands, someone that knows both ends, someone that feels for both, someone that can relate and they can see the bigger picture is what we need. We don't need someone that is just driven by religion and all this other crap. We don't need someone that's driven by money. We need someone that's driven by literally heart. We need someone that has a heart, not any of this other crap, okay? Oh, I got a business degree. I don't give a crap about your business degree. I want to know who you are as a person before I put you in office, okay? I want to know if you're going to take care of the people around you, kind of thing, you know? I'm actually going to give a crap. And I think that people just need to see things differently from now on. I think people need to start opening up and realizing that this is a different era. This is a different age. And all I'm going to say is we're all different people now. We're all, you know, evolved, okay? And for someone to say they're not evolved, that's a choice. You're making a choice to be unevolved. Like, you're telling yourself, it's like telling yourself you can't do something when you really can. It's sad. And I know some people that really don't care, you know, like, they just genuinely, they have no empathy, no regard, no nothing. And those are the kind of people that are pretty much in power, pretty much in the places where they shouldn't be. And those people, if you lack therefore empathy and sympathy for somebody else, or another being, another soul, another whatever it is, I don't care. If you're not willing to put a hand out for somebody at least 3 times before pulling it away and locking it away, then you're not a good person, in my opinion. You're not someone that should be in power. You're not someone that should have influence. If you're not willing to put your hand out and say, hey, let me help you. Like, do you need emotional, what kind of support do you need? How can we be there to help you, to better you, your life, and thus bettering everyone as a whole? It's more important to care about a whole, not just an individual, you know? Like, I feel like this kind of stuff is just completely thrown out the door and nobody cares. And I feel like it's, given the circumstance, as I said before, people just being absolutely just comfortable, like too comfortable. People being just handed, just crap handed. Like, I don't even know how to begin to explain it, but I just feel people have lost their way in this day and age. People have completely forgot that it's not about yourself, it's about everyone around you, and the only way we're gonna survive as a whole, the only way we're gonna coexist and do better and evolve is if we do it together and actually care about each other and actually, you know, think these things through. What's going to be the betterment for society? What's going to be better for everyone around us and our children in the future? What, you know, like, people, they say they think like that. They don't show it, okay? That's my problem. They don't. it makes me cry. Okay, it makes me laugh. They completely blow my mind. Hypocrites. We live and breathe hypocrites all day long. Every day. The government's hypocrites. Everyone. It's just hypocritical. It's a very hypocritical age, and nobody sees it, or at least they see it and they don't care, as I said before, which is sad and despicable and unevolved. I think it's important that we evolve ourselves and do better for each other and our own families and our own kids. That's the thing, is that a lot of these people don't realize they're setting examples that are so bad, and it's all for what? I mean, you're setting these examples to ruin the next generation. You're gonna kill us all. Like, what's the point? You may not care because your life is screwed up. What's your motivation? Like, why would you screw it up for everyone else? I mean, just because one person maybe upset you and said something that hurt you, well, that's your own freaking problem. You let them change you. You let them hurt you. You let them get to you. That's your problem. Like, what? Like, you're that weak that you're gonna let them get to you? You're that weak that you're gonna let them change you? That makes you just a terrible person. Not a crap person, but a sad, miserable, weak person. And that's despicable. Like, that's your own problem. And you can't put that on anyone else. That's on you. Like, you did that to yourself, and no one should feel bad for you and whatsoever. There's not one ounce of me that would say that you deserve a damn thing, honestly. It's despicable to just sit back and think that nobody cares these days about, just environment, how we treat each other, and the honor. We have no honor anymore. Nobody has honor in our government. There's no honor anywhere. I don't see it. Where's the honor? Like, somebody prove it to me. I watched a video where they explained why we are not the greatest country on earth, and it's because good reasons. And I mean, a lot of it's statistical. I don't like statistics for a good reason too, because statistics can mean just business, and it's all about numbers and stuff, and I don't like that. But I'm gonna tell you now that I'll tell you that the basic fundamental of sorry, just a second, guys. Hold on. Okay. But the basic fundamental of the whole thing is just how do we allow ourselves to treat each other this way, and allow these people that are so arrogant, ignorant, in their power. I understand having some older people in power because they're wiser and stuff like that, but it's kind of getting to that day and age where we need to start putting some of our younger people in power. We need to start putting some young people in office and really make some damn change. And tired of putting in people that are already on their deathbed. Sorry to say, I love you all, but we need some people that are coming from our perspective, our age, and have seen through the bull crap and would like to change it. And another thing is that when I was talking about hidden powers and stuff like that, it's not just that, like, our president does not have all the power. Our president is more like a Muppet, like a Monopoly figure that gets thrown around, and he's the person that may quote unquote call the shots, but he's really not. He's the one reading the script. That's it. He's a script reader. I hope everyone realizes that. Every time those suckers are on podiums and stuff, they're script readers. There's someone in power that has so much goddamn money, so much influence that nobody knows. There's no way to know because they got that locked up tight. and there's some, there's almost a religion to it. There's like believers that aren't. They're definitely not gonna come out about it. They're not gonna turn against them. It's just such a big, almost like an industry or like a power struggle that they're not gonna give it up. They're not gonna, you know, give up the person that's they're not gonna bite the hand that's feeding them. And which I understand, but at the same time, these people need to realize how much harm they're doing to people around them. And looking at things right now, we're going into another, like, we've been in a depression for about 5 years now. We're going into it. It's just getting deeper. It's getting worse, and it's like a slow, steady progressing, like pretty much exploding time bomb. Like, I don't know what else to call it. It's an exploding time bomb. We have very little time before everything around us goes to crap and goes to whack. Like, there's very limited time for that, and it's a very high chance that things won't get better because of where we're at, because of like where we have our powers and faith lying. Like, we need to put our power, money, faith into other things, okay? And to show the ignorance and just like how sad things are, like how sad, how unopen-minded, how close-minded we are, really, is look at the simple issue that arose back in, I think it was like 2019. Okay, it was like 2019, something like that. And it was at a football game, and we were just trying to do the, we were gonna have the opening football game. It was a Super Bowl, I believe. And what happened was, we had the Super Bowl open with a Wiccan or a pagan or something like that, or not a pagan, but I think it was a Wiccan. My mom's Wiccan, but like, she believes in that stuff. And we had someone open it up, with getting murked up here. But we had someone open it up, okay? Open up the whole NFL game with that, the opening intro, kind of reading from their script, sort of, like we would as a Christian or a Catholic or something, reading, obviously kindness and good words about God and things like that. And there was so much uproar that they even allowed someone that wasn't Christian or Catholic or whatever to go and open the NFL game. Like, you're really going to complain about what religion opens the NFL game? I don't care if you started it, the damn thing back in frickin' 10,000 BC or not. I don't give a damn. We're in America. We're in a new age. Need to understand other people's religions and stuff, okay? And when you're opening a football game like that, you need to shut up and let that person express how they feel, because guess what? Every Christian and Catholic gets to sit there and express how they feel all day long. Nobody gives a damn. Nobody freaks out. Nobody cares. Okay? Like, that's kind of dumb, that's unfair. Like, that's just an example of how ignorant people can be. Like, that, like, our specific society, it's completely, utterly hypocritical too. Like, it's sad because you're gonna crap on another religion because they got to open, like, that's childish almost, like, they got to open a football game, like the one football game out of freaking how many hundreds, thousands of games that we've had our country, watch and play and be involved in. How many games was it where some Christian or some person had some verse or something to come out and do it, like they'd come out and start singing or something, and everyone's like, woo! And then you have this one little pagan or this one little, like, person that's not in your religion or your group come in and go, I'm gonna sing for you, or I'm gonna recite some words for you, and out of respect, and it's for the love of the game and everything. They're being respectful. They're being as if you would if you went in and wanted to, open the game as a Christian. That's just dumb, idiotic, sad, disgusting. It's almost like religious racism. Literally, like religious racism. Like what they should do this year is let a Muslim open it up. They need to let somebody else, some other religion, a Buddhist, open it up. Okay, like let them do the intro for the football games and stuff for like 1 year. Again, like there needs to be a line where we change things. We're all the same damn thing. We're all human. We have the same damn genes. We come from the same damn place, Earth. There's no difference between black, white, Asian, Caucasian. The only difference is we look a little bit different than the other. That's it. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with beauty in all shapes and forms? That's my question. Like what do people have an issue with genuinely? I don't care what stereotype you think, what you hear, what you know, or what you think you know, and what you think is right. No stereotype is okay. I mean, you can be maybe joking around, messing around with your friends. I do it all the time. I understand joking around, and I have a lot of mixed friends. That's all I have. Okay, I have Asian friends, black friends, Caucasian, Muslim, Albanian, Bosnian, British, Scottish, everything. Okay, I love them all. Okay, there's not one friend that I don't see different. Okay, they're all the same to me. They're all individual human beings with their own issues, their own, good and bad qualities. There's no line that I draw where I say I'm going to treat this person differently unless it's by the soul or heart. If that person isn't a good person, then I'm going to treat them differently. Okay, I'm not going to say, hey, my black friend, this, and this. Okay, I'm not doing that. Okay, that's not what you do. Know what? That is racism in a way. That's just talking. That's like talking about racism. Okay, that's like bringing it up almost. What you need to do is say, hey, my friend, and use his damn name. Okay, so your friend has a name. If you have a friend, it's either my friend, da da da, like my friend Jeff. He's a semi good gamer, blah blah blah. You don't need to describe the person unless a description is genuinely needed. If you can't describe the person without using words that may offend somebody, then you probably should just pull a damn picture out and show somebody, or just not shut up. Like just be like, hey, you'll meet him some point. Okay. I don't know. I just feel like that whole like social injustice is a key factor in a lot of what's going on these days. It is. It's a huge thing. It's like there's so much social segregation and so many problems with America. I mean, it almost disgusts you. Like my friend, he's Hispanic and made a joke that made me laugh, but it wasn't really a joke because it's really freaking true. But it's sad that a lot of people are like, oh, Hispanics, they come over and they don't pay taxes and they come here and they work and do whatever. How do they not pay taxes when they every time they buy a candy bar? Like you buy a candy bar and I buy a pair of shoes or a shirt, they have to pay 7% tax on that shirt. How are they not paying taxes? Riddle me that. Well, how are they not? I want someone to tell me, how are they not paying taxes when they're paying a 7% tax on every damn thing they buy? Maybe they don't file for tax. Know how many white Americans don't file for taxes? I could tell you quite a bit, my friends, quite a bit. More people than you could possibly imagine. And it disgusts me to think that people don't see this as a problem. Like, how do they not help and contribute? They came and they worked here for money that was taxed when they got it on a check. Not always taxed on a check. Sometimes it's, cash under the table type thing, but even then, they go to a grocery store, they buy the same food as you do, and they pay the same tax that goes to the government in the local state that you do. There's, that kind of stuff kind of pisses me off when people don't realize these small things that are around them. They're just so narrow-minded. They need to open their minds. That's all I'm saying, There's a lot of weird things that go on that are very hypocritical that nobody seems to notice, and they're some of the brightest minds in the world. And it almost makes you sad. It makes you disgusted. I mean, look at Elon Musk. I mean, like, all the space commanders, every single, like, we're talking Neil Armstrong and them, completely looked at him and threw pebbles. They were throwing pebbles this way. They were telling him basically that he was, dumb, for as stupid and reckless for trying to create what he did. A reusable rocket, not only that lands and flies, something that they could never ever think, they only imagined of and could never complete, could do in any lifetime. He's done it already. I don't care if he is a money, richy rich kid that grew up with money and started with money and his daddy gave him money and has emerald mine and all this. I don't give a damn. What he did with that money is what matters. And I don't think people realize that. People are dissing this man for nothing. Literally nothing. He made a rocket ship that we can now safely land. What is wrong with that? What's so dangerous? What's so scary? That is safer than dropping a rocket or letting a giant ball of fire hit the damn Earth at 3,000, 5,000 plus, miles per hour. A parachute deploys and everything out of this damn thing, and it hits the water, and you get out of it. Like, what? And you waste an entire rocket. I mean, you have all this debris that falls. What's the point? I mean, there's so much pollution, so much bad stuff in that, that picture. There's so much danger. Why not have a rocket that can land that man safely to the ground without him hitting it at a high rate of speed or needing to use a parachute? What if his parachute didn't deploy? Those are things that you have to think about. And he also, he's creating like our first interstellar space fleet. Like, he's trying to create ships that we can take people up to other planets. What's wrong with that? Why should we continue to hurt our own planet? Why should we continue to destroy and rip it of resources and hurt ourselves when there are planets that are 100% made of hydrogen, sodium, nitrates, like different elements? And there's even a planet made of solid frickin' diamond. Like, they found a planet that has, it is literally, it would make diamonds worthless. That's how much there is. It's a frickin' planet that is diamond. That's all I'm gonna say. There's planets that are made of, like, literally just straight mineral. You know what I mean? And it just kind of blows your mind to think that nobody thinks it's a good idea to go and mine those places and excavate a rock that there's no living life form on. Let's go excavate that rather than something that has a bunch of animals and a bunch of people on it that could die from carbon dioxide and stuff like that. Why not send a remote ship now that we have a ship that can land and fly back, all that crap? Why not have a ship go out there, land, have our rovers and we have the technology to drill without a human being being present technically. We could have some people out there working on it, but I would say send that ship out, get a absolute mother load of whatever resource we need and send it back. And it may take so many years to do it, but the return on that time we spent, the return on the time that it took for that to get back to us is so high that it's like, why? It's stupid not to. It's just dumb not to. You know, like, people don't think of these things. You should be thinking of these things. These things are, like, important, more than important. These things could change and evolutionize our entire race like nobody's business, you know. Like, this is something that could change everything, you know. And there's these high level, high esteemed people like astronauts, or, you know, Neil Armstrong and Jeff Bezos, these people that are crapping on someone that is so damn intelligent, like someone that has done more than they have ever done in their damn lifetime. And he went from being the bottom of the list of rich people, like some of the most rich people, to the richest person, which is within good reason, because that man looked at striving and doing something better for the community and for, you know, our entirety as a race. And he looked at the future. He didn't look at the present. He opened his mind up and he went to the next level. We're still sitting at square one. We're a bunch of idiots. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, people are crapping on people that are absolute geniuses, people that are worth more than what, you know, and it's been like that for years. I mean, I'm not saying this is anything new. I'm just saying that this is something that needs to be obviously abruptly changed, or at least it needs better work. Like, this needs to be a social issue that, I mean, you can put headlines all you want about, oh, this murder and that murder or this and that, and people get murdered every damn day. Yes, please. You miss quite a few of the murders that, you know, like, not all the murders are put up on the damn board. Not all of them are displayed. Not all of them are put on, you know, the news. And there's, like, rapes, there's mass murders, there's all sorts of stuff that's never talked about. And it's sad. They don't care. They really do not care. They'd rather have a, you know, I don't know, a video of a monkey throwing his crap at a wall. Like, and I understand you want some good things on the news. You don't want all dark and bad, but you need to cover the real stuff, the stuff that's actually dark, like the darkest of the dark. You need stuff that's good. Like, unless you have crap reporters, I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of social issues that need fixed, that need focused on, that need brought up, and some people need to have the balls to say, this is not okay. Like, this is, something's wrong with people. There's some immoralities going on. There's some stuff that needs change. I mean, for sure. Nobody has that sort of thought processing where they're like, okay, we're obviously screwing up somehow. Because, I mean, the right people need to have that thought processing. There's very few that do. And I'm talking people of power. You know, like, this isn't just people like me and you guys. I'm talking people that are people of power that are supposed to be thinking this way, or you would assume they would think this way, and they really don't. Like, and that's what I'm saying with the hypocrite part and the whole, like, Elon Musk thing is, this is the same exact thing that's going on with him. You know, it's the same difference. It's no different, and it's the same issue, just taking shape in a different form. And I think that it's very similar, and you just have to connect the dots. I mean, people aren't connecting the dots anymore like they should be, and it's hilarious. People just get too comfortable. They get too, like, they don't ask questions. They're like, oh, everything is what it is. It's no, you know, it's still like old times. Like, history repeats itself. Nobody actually changes their thought processing. Like, they're not, oh, I believe, you know, this and this happened, and it's all because I believe in this one religion, or I believe in this one thing. It's like, even if, you know, you saw the unicorn sitting right in front of you, your ass wouldn't believe it. Like, you would say it's fake. Like, that's how ignorant a lot of people are. And I think that's also why the government keeps so much away from us, is because how unopen-minded people can be. How, like, absolutely carefree, like, genuinely dumb people can be. And that sucks. That really does suck. It sucks for everyone because no one can evolve until those people evolve. You know what I mean? No one can get. We can't get the awesome, cool, nice technology and good um like the good change that we need, like the good stuff. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say is the good stuff. Derpity derp. Nobody really cares about actually doing better. I really think that when somebody finds, I saw a movie like the other night, somebody finds a piece of technology like teleporting or something like that, and I mean, it's like this kid finds it at a young age, finds out how to build one. Teacher doesn't even believe that he can build one in the first place, right? He just thinks this kid's talking out his butt and just being, like, oh, a dreamer, I'd say. And this kid's, he's a dreamer, I'd say. He was big dreaming, but he straight up tells him, he's like, I've been building this, like I have this, teleporter, and I know what I'm doing. It's real, like I can, prove this. He has all these math, paperwork and like papers all laid out, and he's trying to explain himself, and the teacher's like, he's like, expected you to have a report on a real job, something you could really do in the future, like something. He was talking about being a scientist, you know what I mean? And he was talking about creating things. He's talking about being an engineer. That's a real damn job. And you know what? Someone told him that, that's not a real job. Like, that's just crap. That's a lie. That's why would you even think you could do that? Is what he says basically. And it kind of blows your mind to think that people still are like that. That's how society is. Like, it's disgusting. Okay, I got everything from this section. But it's kind of crazy to think that nobody has an open mind anymore. Nobody actually thinks towards the future, really, when it comes to society as a whole, and like basically just they can't get their shit straight. Like, nobody has the ability to recognize when the bull crap's right in front of them, It just kind of, it's sad to see, and there's so much naiveness, and like I said, hypocrisy, a lot of hypocrisy, a lot of hidden powers nobody cares about. It just, kind of, they're like, oh, it's whatever, I don't care, as long as I'm making my money, or as long as I'm not messed with, I'm okay. What about the guy next to you? You really don't give a crap about the person next to you, Like, that's kind of selfish and messed up. That makes you just as bad as the other people. That makes you just as bad as the person that you're, that's actually hurting the other person, It just makes you no better than them. Something to think about. Food for thought is what we're talking about here. Food for thought. And thought for food. Let me give you some thought to eat. But yeah, it's all controversial stuff, all controversial like topics and stuff. Bunch of weird, conspiracy stuff. But at the same time, it's so damn close to legitimacy. Like, it just sounds so. There's like facts and everything that kind of follow suit with it, so it almost leads you to believe it's real. Like, it's one of those kind of things. And I understand that's how a lot of people are. That's how a lot of people think. A lot of people will believe in one thing, and they're like, oh wow, like this, all these facts, and now I believe in it. It's real. I'm gonna tell you right now, that's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying that, like, these are just a lot of this stuff is things that are already known, or at least are known to a very set few minority. And the majority is still walloping in their crap while we sit here and look at them and shake our head and face palm. And I feel that a lot of people could make change, and they don't. And a lot of it's out of fear, and a lot of it's out of not just fear, but it's more or less like lack of hope, or at least like motivation, lack of empathy, sympathy, the lack thereof to care due to like the dehumanization of basically your moralities and stuff. I feel a lot of people have been like mentally dehumanized over time. Like there's just their thoughts have been swished and swashed around left and right. They don't know what to think or to believe anymore. A lot of people don't. I mean, everyone's told just kind of pick something and believe in it. You know, it's kind of, I feel that people need to get on the same page and kind of see things, not like believe in the exact same thing or anything like that, but I'm just saying that people need to be on the same page and see the factual shit and like have the actual real information, not stuff that's been fabricated or, you know, used to completely manipulate you. Like, and people are like, oh, they're not manipulating me. A lot of people are like, nobody's manipulating me, or nobody can, or whatever it is. They're like, oh, I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing, or whatever it is. I'm like, that's what someone would say if they didn't know what was going on, or like, if you really think about it, watch a movie, and I guarantee you that's exactly what someone would be doing. It's like the guy that's like, oh, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go and check out that weird noise. You never say you're gonna be right back, dude. You're not gonna be right back. We know that for a fact. Like, it's just, it's, I don't know. Like, it's something where you just kind of think about it and you're like, how are you, like, oh wow, I just blew that guy up hitting him. That's awesome. It just kind of makes you think about it, like, how are, is this really blocked off? This is it. Oh, okay, I have to get out.
Looks like Reese's agent is in the Mercantile Plaza.
Got it.
Malawon's got a weapons depot set up inside the mall, and I'll bet bullets to bullets that's what he's after.
But there's a lot of people that are just blind. They just don't want to open up, see things differently, because they're set on what they believe in already, and what they've seen already. And I mean, like, I've taken paperwork, and I mean, people are like arguing with me, oh, you know, this is not true, or whatever it is, and this is the truth, and that's the truth. I laugh in their face, because if I can take a piece of paper and shove it in your face and it says right on the damn thing, and it's public knowledge that this information is true and proven fact by a scientist or a person of true high esteem, someone of you know, academic success, or so, you know, it's a proven fact, and you're just gonna look at it and tell me it's not true and be in denial still. You are a piece of work. You are a disgrace to a human being. A disgrace of a human being. You shouldn't be one, because a human being should be able to look at something, recognize it, understand it, learn it, process it, see it in your own way, not somebody else's way, and decide what parts are true, not true, you know, like whatever. You're able to analyze something and be independent, and also see it in a way that comes from both sides. It's not just your perspective, it's not just their perspective, and it's not just the other guys that's just sitting in the corner watching the whole thing. It's everybody's perspective in the room that you need to understand, and nobody does that. They say they do, but they don't. I've talked to religious, non-religious people that have their views, and it's like talking to a brick wall. They believe what they believe. It's narrow-minded ignorance. Genuinely. And that sucks, because you can't have a good conversation with people. You can't, well, I mean, you can, but you can't do it and look at them the same. You really can't. And you can't sit back and feel bad for them when, you know, you told them right from wrong, or you told them in the first place what was going on, and they didn't listen, and then now they're suffering from it, or they're the ones that are, you know, begging for your help. You just look at them and you laugh and you say, I'm sorry, I told you, and I tried to help you, and I tried to help you, put my hand out a few times, and you didn't take it, so now you're on your own. And that's what I'm talking about, you know. And I mean, the whole government conspiracy thing, man, I wouldn't doubt if, you know, a lot of that stuff's going on. I wouldn't doubt if the government was undermined, or was being undermined, and being basically stripped down, you know, being brought to its knees practically through the following steps we listed, you know, like dehumanizing, put it, you know, isolate, and then, you know, remove the job, make it harder obviously on people when you remove those jobs, makes the depression kind of kick a little bit there, or at least makes it you know, makes the economy worse, okay? And that's proven fact. We all know that the economy gets worse when we lose jobs, right? Because not as much money flow, and that's where I stand. Is I'm looking at this like all these facts are pointing to one simple thing, and that's we're being crapped on, genuinely being crapped on. Those numbers scared me when I read those, because that just makes me think I've been stuck in my damn house this long when I could have been out, you know what I mean, like living my life, genuinely living, breathing fresh air every day, not breathing through a damn mask that causes my asthma to kick, and I sit there and I'm like and I'm choking on fucking dust, and just no, like that's just makes me so mad to think that if I were to if that were to be a thing, then how many people, how many lives have you ruined? How many children have you screwed over that could have had a good education, or at least, you know, better than what it was? And how many kids have you tortured by not letting them obviously have friends, see friends, meet people? How you have socially screwed basically your previous generation. I mean, say it, oh no you didn't, they can still talk on internet and all that. Not everyone has a damn Wi-Fi setup, not everyone has internet, not everyone has a phone, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. Not everyone has those things. Yes, it's America, yes it is, but I still see people that don't have those things. I know people that don't have those things, so you can't sit here and tell me there's not, you know what I mean? Nobody can. I know exactly how many people out of my friends list don't have, can't have those things, or struggle to have them. And I can tell you right now, I do my best to help them all the time. Everyone, I try to help people, okay? And some people don't want to help themselves. And there's a lot of people out there that also, like, they may take your help as, they may take it for you, them being weak, or you being weak, or whatever it is, and they take it the wrong way, and it just, that's on them. That's their own problem. That's okay. I get it. But just know that you did it to yourself. Like, that person or I or whoever tried to help you, you did that to yourself. And you know, changing that mindset, changing, you know, growing up and seeing things in a different light may help some people, and some of those people that have those issues still, and still are doing those things, like just kind of taking that food for thought into consideration that I've, you know, given out. I would say you might actually thank me, you know, for just taking a step back, breathing, taking my advice, looking at things differently, check out other people's lives, other religions, other, you know, continents, other lifestyles, other laws and rules and regulations, really study them, you know, really go into depth with business and accounting, and understand how our government doesn't teach us crap when we're in school about how to truly live in America, how to live, how to survive. They teach you some basic crap, some basic knowledge, stuff you don't. There's some stuff you need, and there's some essentials, and some of the stuff they teach you do lead to, you know, certain, you know, you get certain levels of mental evolution and reflexes, and you do learn. Okay, I'm not gonna say you don't learn something. I'm not gonna say you don't get somewhere in life with that. It just, they need to be more specific and much more respectful towards the individual when it comes to a kid, or, you know, adult, whatever, and actually like teach some stuff like business, finance, things that are actually going to help the children be successful, help our generations do better. Like, don't just feed our kids crap. Don't shit on it without, you know, actually giving us a courtesy of calling it like a present. You know what I mean? Like that. Don't just give us some. Don't piss on us and say it's rain, or not say it's rain. Like it's just like I don't know. It just blows my mind how we can not think about how these things can affect our social lives and our children, and how our future would turn out. You know, if we there's always a chain reaction and a cause and effect, and if we choose this path, this is what's going to happen. And if the people are seeing these things and they're choosing these paths on purpose, or they see that this could be an effect and they really are just saying screw it and going with it, dude, I am just, to those people, I look at you and I'm disgusted, and you are a sad, weak person. I'll tell you that right now. You are a sad, weak person, and you're terrible at what you do, your job. You shouldn't even have it. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say on that one.
Opening up a finely aged cask of whoop-ass.
I just have this day where I need to let this stuff out. I've just been thinking about stuff. Okay, I've been in my head. I've been looking at a lot. I've been researching a lot, watching a lot of documentaries, talking to a lot of people, and talking to a lot of how do we say, people of, I wouldn't say power necessarily, but people that have power, or people that are higher up. I've had the opportunity to talk to, or at least ask some questions and stuff like that, and it's just interesting to see how it's almost like a human being sometimes, like talking to one lawyer versus another, or this person versus that person. It's like crazy to think that it's almost like watching yin and yang sometimes, but there's more of the black than there is the light. That's all I'm gonna say. There's more darkness than there is lightness, and there's more scandalousness than there is truth and like actual reality. There's a lot of fabrication that goes on and stuff like that, and there's so many loopholes, and everything in the system's kind of built to be against you. I mean, really, it really is. There's no joke on that. I mean, this is all sorts of stuff I've been, like I said, researching and looking into, and it blows your mind to think that you can research these things. These are straight facts. This is like numbers, evidence. This is stuff you can watch. I'm talking like people that are like librarians for so many years, like half their life, and like study social economics and psychology and all these things, and they're coming out about this stuff. They're coming out about how twisted and crooked everything is, and how like things actually work, and how our like schooling systems work and all that. it has gotten my mind like rolling, working, bobbling, and weaving. And it does feel good to talk about. It does feel good to kind of touch base with all you guys, and you know, see what other people think. Like that's what I am trying to teach other people here too. I hope everyone gets this, is that I'm wanting other people to see that, you know, I am coming from a perspective, my own perspective, but I'm not only coming from my own perspective. I'm looking at other people's currently. I'm looking at research and facts. I'm looking at the bigger picture of things, okay? And that's something that I feel that people need to recognize that I'm doing here, and they need to follow suit. People need to start looking at all the facts. Need to start looking at everything as a whole. Need to start researching, coming together as a community, and speaking on it, and really like kind of, you know, actually trying to fix things, like change our social, you know, beliefs, like try to help everyone, not change them, but at least help them, like evolve them. I don't want to change their social beliefs. I don't want anyone to change their social beliefs. I just think that they should evolve it into a better form and make it better, like for not only themselves but for other people. I mean, the better you treat people, the better they're going to treat you, the better they're going to do for you. Go do some research before you know, you get too mad, you know, and you start saying you disagree with whatever I say. I'm not trying to get anyone to agree or disagree or anything. I just want people to state their opinions, state their thoughts and feelings about it, and kind of have an educated, mature conversation about it, and just kind of see where everyone's at, and kind of just like, I don't know, relate. I just want to relate with some people, okay? I just want people to, you know, to step up and say, hey man, you know, I feel the same way or not, or like, hey, maybe I'm seeing things a little wrong. Maybe I haven't seen something, or I'm missing something. You know, I'd like to hear these things. These controversial subjects are very important to me, in a sense that it's teaching me to be better, and it's teaching me to see things differently, and to see these certain perspectives that I haven't seen before, and I like that. And I think that's what I was telling everyone before. I think that we need more of that in our society, in our local society as well, or especially local here where I live. People need to open up, and kind of they're ignorant here, but like, not all of them, but I'm just saying there's a lot of ignorant people. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. And those people, they know who they are. If you have to ask if you're ignorant, you must be pretty fucking ignorant. That's all I'm gonna say. So just please understand that when I tell you, when I talk about a subject, or you know, like this, I'm wanting to learn something. You know, I'm wanting to conversate, and I'm wanting to understand other people, and I want you guys to understand me and stuff like that, and kind of come to a same general census and basis and stuff like that.
So we gank
As I said,
Gigamind, we get access to their entire strategic database.
all this stuff is just food for thought, stuff to think about. It kind of also is just, you know, a little bit of fun. I figured we have a little bit of a controversial subject. I haven't done any videos where we talk about anything controversial, or anything that's kind of like weird, or how do I say, conspiracy-ish, okay? And I think conspiracies are epic, and they're really cool because they kind of get you thinking, and they make you ask questions. And asking questions in life is more important than anything else, because how do you think we got where we are today? How do you think we got the technology we did today? Because we had one guy that was more bold than the rest of the group. One man that had the huevos to stand up and tell everyone, I don't care what you think, I don't care what you say, I'm doing this, I'm gonna learn how to do this, or I'm gonna go and I'm gonna build this rocket, or I'm gonna build this thing, and I'm gonna prove all of you wrong. And that person goes and he proves everyone wrong. Like, that kind of stuff right there, that's gold. Okay, that's what people nowadays need to be doing. Like they need to be standing up going, you know, hey, like this is possible, we can do this, and no one's going to tell me it's not possible, let's get it done. Like, or at least like, you know, like we can build this, or we can, you know, accomplish what we think we can. The impossible is possible only if we make it that way, only if we find the possibilities to make it possible. And the only way to do that is to open your mind, ask questions, and experience things, and actually explore. Go somewhere, learn something, do something, and you'll become something. That's how I live. That's what I think. So I took it upon myself to make this YouTube and everything, and I made my YouTube because I love video games. I love playing them. I love experiencing the stories. I love the concepts, and I love the technologies and the fun stuff you get to do, and just the derpness involved, like, you know, being a derp, being an idiot, and how, you know, it kind of takes you to a different realm, and it's a little getaway, okay? So it's like a getaway from kind of like the world in a sense, or like reality, like the bad things in life, like not so much as the bad things, but you know, just like the pressure or any sort of like stress. It's kind of like a de-stressor, or at least kind of makes you think about things other than these very deep controversial subjects, which can be very tolling on somebody. Especially if they take it to heart or personally, or they, you know, I mean, I think everyone should take it personally or to heart, or, you know, at least to heart, because, I mean, this has to do with all of us. Like, this is our society, this is our family, friends, kids, whatever, you know, like these things that go on around us are just you know, allowed. They're just being allowed, and nobody cares. And I think that we need to stop being so careless and do better for ourselves. And it's not all about, you know, it's not about changing people. It's just about getting people to think, getting people to talk, getting people to come to an agreement, see each other in a different perspective, not as different people or anything, but as equals and as friends, and as a community, as a whole, because that's what we are. You know, we're all the same people. We all come from the same roots and stuff. Truly, we all have the same DNA, and I wouldn't treat you less of a human, and any of you less than a human. And I don't think anyone else should ever do that to somebody, but it still goes on till this very day, and people still have that mindset where they think it's okay, and it's not. And that goes, it's socially, you know, you may not see it. It's not like it's, oh, we have slavery and all these other issues. It's not that, you know. It's not, I mean, there is those things still going on in the world, but it's not that, okay? It's just the social part. The people are not seeing the bigger picture of things. They're still treating people like crap. They're still doing things that we did back 200-300 years ago that we shouldn't be doing. Like, the way we are treating each other and stuff is just, it's been nothing but the same as it always has been. There's still no understanding. There's still people that don't see how this whole thing is wrong. How we're not stepping back and seeing, taking a breath and seeing who's actually good for us as a whole, like our society, or like presidency wise, and not just the president. It's all about like Congress and stuff too. Like those big positions, they're important, and we're just letting just anybody in, you know. We're just letting anybody have it, just give them the key to everything, kind of thing. It's sad. Like, we're not as strict as we used to be, or at least we're not as strict as we should be now. Things have probably gotten worse, you know, or at least harder, and we need to be harder ourselves in order to, you know, survive and continue, and to not follow in the same footsteps as we did like 100, 200 years ago, doing the same crap, treating each other the same way, that kind of thing. Life has gotten better. I think we all have treated each other a little bit better, of course. It has gotten better over so many years, but I think people need to tackle this a little bit better, a little bit harder, and get more into it, and post more about it. Need to get on that like news feed. Need to, you know, like CNN and stuff, and people need to be able to say how they feel about these things, and say, you know, hey, like, I don't think that, you know, these, I don't know, these, like, the way, you know, we're treated, or the way we're talked to and all that stuff is okay. You know, we just need that. What the hell just happened? That was cool. Okay, that was awesome. But I don't think we need to be talking down to each other, other people. Like, it's wrong to do that. It's just wrong. And to crap on someone when they're proposing such a bright, amazing idea is also just complete, absolute crap. And we need to stop doing that as a society. We need to encourage, and we need to develop and flourish each individual, and especially the people that are some of the brightest minds, you know, or even most influential, or maybe even the most financially powerful. Those people could do so much in society, change so much, and they don't care. They just want their peace, you know. They just want their piece of the pie, and to go home and to get their warm belly full and get what they want. As long as nobody's trying to kill them, they're happy. As long as they're not being affected by anything, as long as they're not the ones eating dirt or crapping on themselves, then they're okay at night. Like, then they're cool. Like, they don't care. But until the world's ending and everything's falling on them, then, you know, they don't, like, they're gonna come running to you begging for help. They won't care at all. That's how a lot of people are. Even people that don't have power or money. You know, it's sad. A lot of people just, it's selfishness. That's what it is. We have too much selfishness these days. Too much greed. It's a very greedy society. During the midst of all of our conversation, we kicked some booty and did take down a boss, which is epic. Thanks for watching, guys. For real. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Deuces. Let me know what you guys think in the comments again. Like I said, no judgment, okay? And I just want to learn from you guys. I want to hear everyone's opinion, what everyone else knows. I want some more knowledge. I want people to give me some facts. I want some facts. Hit me with them. Stitch this shit. Like, let's go. Panda Ping for the win, guys. Have a good day. Much love to everyone, and deuces.